Your kidneys. Your kidneys filter the blood. And they do a very effective job at filtering the blood, but it gets very difficult for them to filter the blood if the blood is thick. So to understand how the kidneys do this, let's go to the kidneys, and we're going to go to the nephron, which is the filtering unit inside the kidney. And there are approximately 1 million of these in one kidney. And your kidney is as big as your fist. And an average amount of nephrons is 1 million per kidney. The blood goes in and the blood is filtered.
Hello, are you concerned about maintaining optimal kidney health? Did you know that certain foods can aid in healing and supporting your kidneys? Renowned health educator Barbara O'Neill emphasizes the importance of diet in promoting kidney function. But first, let's take a look at the functions of kidneys in the human body.
And the blood is filtered in the nephron. It's called the Bowman's capsule. So the blood goes in, and what's interesting is the blood vessel going in is bigger than the blood vessel coming out. Can you see that that puts a little bit of pressure in that Bowman's capsule to more effectively filter the blood? And when the blood is filtered, the filtrate comes out and weaves around these tubules. And these tubules eventually go down to the bladder, and the waste is urinated out. So the blood comes in and it weaves around the filtering units where it is filtered, and then when it comes out of the Bowman's capsule, it weaves around the tubules. In a 24-hour period, these little filtering units filter 1,800 litres of blood. And out of that 1,800 litres of blood, 180 litres of filtrate is filtered out. But we don't urinate 180 litres a day, do we? Otherwise, we'd all be leaving this room every 5 minutes. Praise be to God that we don't. We urinate out approximately 1.5 litres. So where's the rest? So we've got a shortfall there of about 160 litres. Well, there's a reabsorption happens here. And as that reabsorption happens, a process called homeostasis is happening. Homeostasis means keeping the balance. And there are 3 things that are particularly balanced here, and one is the pH of the blood. So how is it balanced there? It's monitored and balanced. Let's say the pH of the blood is going to acid. Well, it is here that extra acid is dropped into the tubules to be urinated out. But let's say the pH of the blood is going to alkaline. It is here that extra acid is pulled out of the tubules and back into the blood. What an amazing process.
The kidneys are vital organs that perform several crucial functions, including filtering waste, balancing electrolytes, and regulating blood pressure. However, kidney stones can form when minerals and salts crystallize due to imbalances in hydration or diet.
Introduce your children to vegetables and they'll eat vegetables, but if you introduce them to cakes and pastries and cookies, they're not going to eat their vegetables. It's exactly the same with water. Stress, worry, anxiety. Now this creates a very acid environment in the body. And the body's quickly trying to deal with that. And the blood pH is getting a little acid. It's going up to, what's going down, 7.35, 34, 33, we're dropping. And remember, down to 7.22 is death. So very quickly the last resort buffer system is called on. Calcium, the most alkaline minerals pulled out of the bones in a form of calcium phosphate, comes into the blood, immediately helps to bring the balance back. 7.34, 35, we're safe. but now at a cost. We now have free calcium excess floating through the bloodstream. What's the body going to do with that? It'll dump it on the bones as a spur. It'll dump it in the kidneys, kidney stones, gallbladder, gallstones, even maybe a little bit of a build-up on the eyes. What's that called? Your cataracts.
The pH of urine, influenced by diet, plays a key role in kidney stone formation. Acid-forming foods can lower urine pH, increasing the risk of uric acid and calcium oxalate stones. Conversely, alkaline-forming foods can raise urine pH, reducing the risk of these stones.
But what I'd like to look at now is what foods have an acid effect and what foods have an alkaline effect. And this will enable you to ensure that you're having a more alkaline diet. So we're going to have a look at alkaline foods and we're going to look at acid foods.
First, lemon.
And the most alkaline food you can put into your body is the lemon, and you might say, no, 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 it is acid. That's right. And it's acid where it should be. Okay, students, where's the only part of your body that should be acid? Stomach. You've been listening. Stomach. In fact, if you want to boost digestion, take a squeeze of lemon in a little very hot water just before the meal, or put lemon. How nice to put lemon all over your salad, even on your fruit salad. But when lemon gets split up in the gastrointestinal tract and the minerals are separated, the minerals merge into the body and have an alkaline effect. You see, the minerals in lemon are the alkaline minerals, so that's sodium and potassium and magnesium and calcium and iron. So these are the most alkaline forming minerals.
Lemons are important for kidney stone prevention due to their high citric acid content, which helps dissolve existing stones. They also reduce calcium buildup, preventing the formation of new stones. A narrative review in Nutrients highlights the role of citrus juices, including lemon, in preventing kidney stone disease. The second alkaline food on Dr. Barbara's list is, second, green leafy vegetables.
The second most alkaline are dark green leafy vegetables. We should be eating some dark green leafy vegetables every day. And if you cook your dark green leafy vegetables, you do not lose your minerals. You do not lose your minerals when you cook them. You only lose your minerals if you throw away the water that you cook them in or that came out. Keep that water. That explains why green barley is popular, spirulina, wheatgrass, green smoothies. Because those dark green leafy vegetables are very high in the alkalizing minerals. Dark green leafy vegetables are also alkaline forming. Dark green leafy vegetables we should be eating every day. That's your kale, that's your parsley, that's your, what you call them, collard greens. Do you know, I've never seen collard greens in Australia. You can tell I'm in Alabama. They're a popular food here, but we do have spinach and silver beet, kale. We should be eating something from the dark green family of vegetables every single day. And if you don't, you really should have a dose of green barley or super greens.
Dark leafy greens, such as kale and spinach, offer unique benefits for kidney stone prevention. They contain natural compounds that bind to oxalates, reducing their absorption. This plant-based mechanism helps lower the risk of stone formation. 3. Tomatoes.
One organic tomato will give you 9 times the iron of a conventionally grown tomato. And I think you'll agree with me, olive oil and tomatoes go very nice. They almost hand in hand together. And you look at Lebanese food, Italian food, there's a lot of tomato and olive oil cooking. When it's cooked with an oil, it releases a plant chemical called lycopene. Lycopene is from the fat-soluble family, and that's another reason why we should be eating a little oil with our meals, because it helps release the fat-soluble vitamins. Lycopene is a potent antioxidant, and it has the ability to reduce the inflammation of the prostate gland, so that's good news, isn't it?
Tomatoes support kidney health with their high potassium content, which helps regulate fluid balance and reduce the risk of kidney stones by preventing calcium buildup. 4. Legumes.
Another herb-bearing seed is the legume. What's a legume? That's your lentil, chickpeas, lima beans, black-eyed beans, cannellini beans, kidney beans, soy, split peas, so many legumes. Legumes are high in carbohydrate and medium to low in carbohydrate. You will find most low-carb advocates put the legume and the grain together, but they are not. The fact is, legumes are approximately a third the carbohydrate content that you will find in your grains. Lima beans and lentils and soy are the 3 alkaline-forming legumes. For your grains, the millet is alkaline.
Legumes help prevent kidney stones by providing magnesium, which reduces calcium oxalate crystallization and supports balanced mineral levels. 5. Nuts and seeds.
What about a seed? Pumpkin seed, sesame seed, sunflower seed. I think you had a chia seed demo this morning, yeah, chias. Seeds are high in protein, but they are quite low in carbohydrate. So God said, "Behold, I've given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree, in the which of the tree is a fruit-yielding seed." So what's a fruit-yielding seed? There's your nut. All your nuts come from the fruit of the tree. Pumpkin, so that's your seed. Coming to your nuts now. For your nuts, almond, Brazil, hazel. So coming back to our alkaline-forming foods, the 2 nuts are your almond and Brazil. And all your seeds have an alkaline effect.
Certain nuts and seeds, like almonds and flax seeds, offer unique benefits for kidney stone prevention. They are rich in magnesium and plant-based compounds that reduce calcium oxalate crystallization. Additionally, they promote better urine flow, creating a natural defense against stone formation. Apart from these alkaline-forming foods, Dr. Barbara shares another strategy that works wonders to detoxify your kidneys.
7th law is use of water. Water alkalizes. I haven't met anyone that drinks too much water yet. Haven't met that person. Why should we be drinking water? A man said to me, "Everyone tells me to drink water. You told me why." So let me tell you why. So let's have a look at water loss in a day. So from the kidneys, now please bear with me here because I'm an Australian, so I'm going to say litre, but I think you realise in the US a quart is the same as the litre. So from the kidneys we have 1.5 litre loss in a day. Water and water alone will supply what the body needs. And there's a book called One of the Body's Many Cries for Water. It's by a Dr. Batman Geheldij, we'll call him Dr. B, an Iranian doctor. And his story is very interesting. He was in prison, political prisoner, and all the patients, well, not patients, but the residents in the jail would come to him because he's the doctor. And he had nothing. So he just kept giving everyone a glass of water. And they were happy because he actually did something. And every 15 minutes he'd give them another glass of water. And so he'd come and see them, give them another glass of water, and to him it was a bit of, what else can I do? But then he noticed something, they all were getting better.
Adequate water intake is essential for preventing kidney stones, as it dilutes urine, reducing the concentration of stone-forming minerals. So here we are. By knowing how important diet and drinking enough water are for kidney health, you can take simple steps to prevent kidney stones and help your body stay clean and healthy. Are you inspired to start incorporating these alkaline foods into your meals? How will you adjust your water intake to ensure your kidneys stay healthy and strong? Share your answers in the comments below. Your insights could inspire others. Remember, you are what you eat, so nurture your health and remember to take your daily dose of longevity seed for a vibrant life. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share for more insightful content like this.